Welcome to Chapter 8, Lesson 1, Function Tables. Let's look up above here for some lots of important vocabulary words. A function is a relation that assigns exactly one output value to one input value. So if you look back one page, the example has to do with a hummingbird and the amount of wing beats in a certain amount of seconds. So the number of wing beats is the output, and that depends on the number of seconds, depends on the number of seconds that the hummingbird is flying for. So the function rule that describes the relationship between each input is output can be described in a certain way, like if you have to multiply by 7 or add 5 or something like that. That's called the function rule, the relationship between the input and the output. You can organize the input and output values and the function rule in a function table, which is what we're going to see in our examples. In a function, the input value is also known as the independent variable, which is a term you should be familiar with from science as well as from when we did graphing on the coordinate plane earlier using x and y. So an independent variable can be any number you choose, and it doesn't matter what. The value of the output depends upon the input value, so the output value is known as the dependent variable. So the output value is going to change when the input value changes, so it depends on the input value. Let's look at example 1. The output is 7 more than the input. Complete a function table for this relation. So with a function table, you can see that they've created one down below, and the expectations when you create your own function tables will be to create something like this. So you have a column for your input, or your x, and then in the middle it shows your function table, or sorry, not your function table, your function rule, and then on the right it shows your output. So it's kind of like a little machine. You do your input, it goes through whatever the function rule is, and then gives you your output. So with the input being 10, 12, and 14, and my function rule being that it's 7 more than the input, or x plus 7, okay, you can see here that we can plug the values in, 10, and then 10 plus 7 will give me an output of 17. If my input is 12, I do 12 plus 7 and get an output of 19. If my input is 14, I do 14 plus 7 and get an output of 21.